All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem YAHAWAHSHI'S by Hashem Rakah HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. And it says, basically, I have a video here saying, unbelievable that this is a policy. Lamalfa, I believe that's how I'm pronouncing his name right. Lamalfa accuses Biden and admin of giving out free crack pipes. I mean, well, this has been going on technically for years, but now they're just putting it out in the open to keep us further oppressed, to keep people from waking up, seeing what's going on. And this is like I said, this is no surprise because we expect these type of things. That's why they want to make guns illegal, but they'll keep fighting them to keep down the rates of blacks being born, or I'm sorry, for blacks, as so-called blacks, producing more. This is to keep crime rates higher. This is to keep people with some type of leverage to keep going around doing the things they're doing. Meanwhile, keeping drugs still alive, as they would say in this description, as he speaks on the House floor about HHS program to attempt to make drug use safer and prevent overdose. Their whole goal is not to really prevent overdose, but they want to make it to where everybody's strung out on it. And what they'll probably do, and I'm gonna be surprised if they do this, they will probably make it like to where it doesn't make you overdose, probably not as much, but then they'll keep adding bits and more to it, so where it will automatically catch you off guard, to where you do get a drug overdose, and then you'll see a lot of people dying from it. Possibly, or you might just will literally see zombies walking around on a daily basis. I mean, they're already technically doing it, but they're going to make it worse. And who knows, if that drug, they could probably put something in these drugs like they did a couple of years back. I would say about maybe 5-6 years back, where they had a drug that made you to where you could eat people. Who knows what it's going to do with this shit? Probably even make your skin fall off. And then they're going to make you take a medicine for it. And then that medicine will have some side effects to it. So I'm going to actually play this clip. It's only a minute long.
For what purpose does the gentleman from California seek recognition?
I seek and ask consent to address the House for a minute and rise and extend remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you. In 2021, U.S. drug overdoses due to fentanyl skyrocketed and is now reported to be the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45. The leading cause of deaths for Americans between 18 and 45 is imported.
Now, with everything going on, especially with this virus that is basically a bioweapon, but it's a real weapon. Let's not get it twisted. It's a real virus. The virus has been here for years. But the simple fact that if they even die to these drugs, they're still dependent on this virus. But that goes to show you that a lot of these deaths ain't because of this virus. Which, granted, some of it is. Mostly for the elderly, probably for the children. But you heard what he said, between 18 and 45. That tells you something right there. That this is one of the primary things that can kill people. You got other things people die from. So it's all tit for tat, all for ratings. Anything that has some sort of leverage or some type of weight, or just even the fact that they make money off of it, because You make money. They make money off the virus, but as you can see here, they're discussing something that's been killing people amongst themselves. I mean, like in the U.S., but they're discussing amongst themselves. But on the news, you don't hear this. On the news, you hear people, quote unquote, dying from a virus. You have ads about this virus. You have all sorts of things about this virus, but this right here, you won't hear about. And because now it's becoming a thing that, and then you gotta think about the timing. The virus going around, all sorts of things happening. But let's pass a law that we could make drugs more legal. More legal. Key word. To where it's safer. Since when is anything been safe in this society to even use? You look at medicines. They mess people up on a daily basis. Because you get one medicine to take care of one problem. Guess what? It has side effects. So now you got to get more medicine to take care of all the problems.
Fentanyl, mostly coming across our open southern border. Instead of combating this epidemic by prosecuting drug traffickers or banning molecularly altered fentanyl substances, the Biden administration is making America's drug problem worse by actually putting crack pipes distributed into the hands of users. Crack pipes distributed by the U.S. government into the hands of drug users. Yes, this has been already modeled in San Francisco, so I guess we want to do the Californication of the rest of the country with these crazy ideas coming from the Biden administration. Boy, we've gone from just don't do it to, hey, just hand it all out. It's unbelievable that this is a policy in the time of drug problems in this country skyrocketing, harm coming to people, and the Biden administration wants to hand out free crack pipes in the name, I guess, of
The
racial
gentleman's time has
equity.
expired.
Unbelievable. I yield back.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from
So there you have it. Like as he said, they went from don't do it to just hand it all out. And back years ago, even before I was born, even up to a little after I was born, I would say even to like 2010. So a long time ago, let's even go to the 60s, up to 2010, I would say. Before they started making that stuff legal, it was frowned upon that you even had the stuff. Or you was even using drugs. A lot of people had to use it in secret. And if you got caught with it, guess what? You was the bad person. Guess what? Police caught you. Well, you automatically got locked up, even though they would be the same one using the stuff. Drugs is like another, as far as I've seen, it's like another produce or product for food. Not used for food, but it's like food for these people. They consume it like food. People depend on it like food. And it was supposed to be legal, but that was the build up to say, hey, we're gonna work this in slowly. And they have. For years, drugs has been a terrible thing. Over time it started becoming more tolerable. And then boom. You have use of free drugs, just like Obama letting out the flames. Used it with ease. Now it's broadly accepted. Everything's broadly accepted at this point. You look back at Rome. There you go. So this is Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their bids. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." So these rats always have a plan after a plan, and I'm not just talking about big plans. They even got little plans that escalate to big plans. They got big plans that become minor plans. Because guess what? They done fulfilled them. And they just keep coming out with stuff after stuff. And this ain't something they just wake up to and be like, boom, there it is. This is what they meditate on. This is what Satan gives them, which ultimately Satan's following the words of the Lord to tell them to do it. So this is plan after plan. There's plenty of plans about to come, pretty much about to come through, and with those plans come prophecy, because that's ultimately what we're looking for. So we can name a list of things that Esau is going to make legal that was originally illegal, was originally frowned upon. And then the funny part is, in somewhere in the chat, in that chat of the video, someone said they heard that Biden's son is going to be in charge of that program. $80,000 a month. $80,000 a month. How an average citizen can't even make that hardly in a year, if that. And they talking about getting this in a month. It goes to show you they paid the big bucks for the stuff that's meant to destroy us. But for the average person that's working an average job, working their butts off, end up getting in pain, might have actually having an accident at one point, even if they ended up retiring, don't even get that much within a month. So that says a lot in itself. This is Proverbs 10:2. It says, treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness deliver from death. So, funny enough, and even in this video, you see Edomites, other Edomites going against this, which, they might even have a part of it. But they had other Edomites going against it. Our people won't go against that. Our people will see that as treasure that they could benefit off of. But they don't understand, or nor do they care, that it's actually ultimately messing them up. Because the biggest excuse our people like to give, it helps me do things better. It helps me do other things. It helps me focus. The biggest misconception these people have ever done, or ever believe in. And they are in full denial. And the funny part is, I know one Issacharite chick that used to do that shit. Well, at least used to smoke it, but then she stopped smoking it. And she was like, yeah, this is the common lies that people come up with. And she said she felt better getting off that mess than she was using that mess. Because she even used to make up the same excuse. But she also said in key words that once you use it and then then just once it wears off, you feel worse, you feel dumber than you were when you were using it. So once she got off that mess, she was like, hey, I'm fine now. I don't even want to use this shit no more because it didn't help me. So anytime somebody can admit that shit didn't help them, but yet these people living in a denial, that's a problem. Well, for anybody else that admits that it didn't help them, it's a good thing. These people wants to find, and it's understandable that these people want to find an escape in something, but there's other things to do that with. Sure, people get stressed, but how did people deal with stress before they started using that mess? That's the bigger question. So these treasures that these people place so much love in, it's not profit them anything. If anything, they're gonna lose more money using this shit, because they're gonna keep needing to come back for another hit, some more of this, some more of that. So all in all, these people are screwed. Esau's circling them, making them go in circles like endless or headless dogs or headless chickens at this point. This is Psalms 55:21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So Biden will come out with a pretty speech saying, hey, we think we should make these drugs legal because it's safer to use for anybody that's really working stress, and some BS camaraderie of a speech to get these people approval of using drugs, and then just come around just to find out his backlash. And you want to see people going nuts, trying to kill other people even higher on the same extreme measures. No, they're trying to demonize black people, so-called black people in general, as terrorists because of what these drugs do. So you're gonna imagine the amount of BS that these people are going to be subscribed to. This is what you get for following and worshiping Esau. You think he loves you, but he does not. If he loves you, why would he encourage you to use drugs? Why would he encourage you to do all these wicked acts? Because if this place was so righteous, none of this would be going on in the first place. None of this would be going on to where you need to use drugs. None of this would be going on to where you need to sleep with another man's woman. None of this would be going on to where you feel stressed at work because you ain't doing something right or something's going on and some other dumb stuff. It's not that hard. But people make it harder. But that's ultimately because we're in captivity. We can't do it on the list. The Lord comes back and blow this place up. Because otherwise, Esau's going to keep doing the same thing. He's going to be a devil. He's going to corrupt the earth, corrupt people, and corrupt life itself. He's going to try to go to other planets and corrupt it, which the Lord ain't going to allow. But Esau wouldn't stop until he corrupts everything. But that's all I have going into that. So Lord willing, this is a little edifying with that. Shalom.